We're Team Wasted Potential, and this is our voice-controlled game titled Yeah, Dog! The game includes multiple levels, obstacles, and hats, and is entirely playable using just your voice. Each obstacle the dog encounters requires a separate command, such as
I'm going to play this game using only my voice. Owners. Bad dog. Balk. Bad dog. Play. Dig. Jump. Left. Left. Jump. There's the reaction command there. If you time it correctly, you will get a positive reaction. Jump. Jump. Oh, I might have timed that wrong. Jump. Right. Jump. Also, you can do this. Reverse. Stops you in your tracks.
The game was inspired by dog competitions and rhythm games where you have to time your inputs to an on-rails character controller. If you fail to go over certain obstacles, you take more time to finish the level since the dog gets stunned. The higher the timer is by the end of the level, the less likely you are to win first place, as first place is tied to completing the level under a certain amount of seconds. There is a volume slider and a how to play screen if you are confused on the controls. The game ends when you finish the map, and after the celebration music has finished, it loops back to the menu. Our target audience for this party rhythm game is families, so we made the aesthetic very cute and colourful, and since the game only uses your voice, even your parents can play it. Since voice commands have a bit of lag in them and are hard to work with for complicated games such as ARPGs or MOBAs, I decided that the game would be a simple on-rails rhythm game and that the commands would be short and one word only to reduce lag between you saying the word and the game recognising the word. The hurdles and mud puddles require jumping over, however the hurdles when failed stop you in your tracks, whereas the mud puddles when touching you slow your maximum speed for a brief amount of time. The tunnel requires being in the right position to enter, and the seesaw needs a separate command. UI will then pop up based on how perfectly you leaped over an obstacle, training the player's muscle memory for when to time each command. The game went under multiple iterations, such as ones where the camera was overhead, ones with explosions, and ones with a planned AI. Part of my role was to manage the scope of this project, such as focusing on finishing the character controller and getting the main obstacle mechanics working rather than spending time on less significant game mechanics such as the initially planned AI that was going to run next to the dog you control. This was cut in favour of a timer, as this timer would not only save time for the programmers but also gave me more freedom with the level design since I don't have to scale it based on 4 dogs, only 1. I'm Dylan and I was the lead designer for this project. I created most of the hats in the game, modelled some of the menu objects such as the doghouse, and modelled the stadium, first with chairs and then replaced with benches to reduce game lag. I also gathered all of the audio and helped create some of the UI such as the buttons, results text, and the team name logo on the game's startup screen. I was also responsible for the level design such as placement of obstacles, the skybox in the menu screen, and all of the animations excluding the dog. As the team leader, I was tasked with creating the PowerPoint presentations and organising weekly Discord chats, checking in on each team member's progress. Finally, I also created this documentary and the final trailer for the game. Rosie and Josh were the lead artists for this game. Rosie handled the 2D such as the fake adverts, the medals, the game's logo, the dog model, and the concept art. Meanwhile, Josh, with help from myself, created some of the objects in the menu, unwrapped, textured, rigged, and animated the dog. Josh also helped model the obstacles such as the tunnel and the hurdles. Evelyn's focus was on coding the character controller and changing it based on user feedback. Evelyn was also responsible for the shader script, the initial pitch for the game before I joined the project, and created a couple of the hat models, however their priority was the player. Initially, the player had full control over the dog, however this made finishing the level incredibly hard, or you could skip parts of the level entirely by jumping over the walls. This was fixed by adding an invisible trail script that keeps the dog moving on a set path. Evelyn also helped turn the keyboard controls, which were used for Q&A testing, into voice controls. Declan was the menu programmer and managed the code for transitioning between the different menus and inputs such as quitting the game or adjusting the volume in the options options menu. He also created the sound system using the audio I provided and implemented the code for the hat menu. Callum was our back-end programmer who fixed all of the errors in Evelyn's code and helped with the game's collision issues in early prototypes. Our project was managed using Trello, where we separated the tasks into code, art and design, with subsections for each person working on the project. We then used Discord for daily updates and providing general help when someone was stuck. Thanks for watching.